Peace, YouTube. As everyone comes in, just let us know where you're from. Let us know where you're checking in from before we get started. Let us know where you're checking in from. We got Natasha. Natasha from Greenville, South Carolina. Welcome, Natasha. We got Abel. Peace, Abel. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois in the building. Welcome, Abel. Who else do we got? Latanya. Okay, Oakland, California in the building. Welcome, Oakland. Latanya from Oakland, California. Welcome. We have Andrea Hall from Metro Detroit. Peace to Andrea in Metro Detroit. We got, let us know where you're from. Let us know what city you're from. Let us know what country you're from. Let us know what planet you're from. Let us know what stratosphere you're from. Let us know what hemisphere you're from. We got, who we got? We got Kevin from Missouri. Peace to Kevin. We got Kenneth from Philadelphia. Peace to Philly. Alfonso from Philly. Peace, Alfonso. We got Errol from, I think Errol's from New York City, I believe. Peace to New York City. We got my guy Douglas. Peace, Douglas. We got Brooklyn in the building. Brooklyn. We got Justin from New York City. All right, peace, Justin. We got Huntsville. We got Tamika from Huntsville, Alabama. Peace to Tamika. We got Dwayne from Brazil. Dwayne Williams from Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. Peace to Dwayne. We got James Keller from Philly. Peace to Philly. All right, I think I had the wrong city for Errol Cloud. New Orleans and Houston. Peace to New Orleans and Houston. All right. While we wait for everyone to join in, we are live on. Let's see. We are live on StreamYard. We are live on LinkedIn. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on X. So we welcome everyone across the different platforms. Welcome to How I Built My Capital Base. We're going to just give it a couple minutes before we begin. Before we begin, I want to just check the audio. Are we good on the audio? Are we good on the video? Because I stay screwing up the tech. Just confirm that you can hear me and can see me in the chat, please. I don't want to get too deep into today's meeting and realize I'm on mute, or you don't see me or don't hear me. We got Diane from Arlington, Texas. Welcome, Diane, Arlington, Texas. Okay, thank you. All right, cool. Thank you. Tech is not my strong suit. All right, thank you, Marco. We got Lisa from LA, Callie in the building, LA. Peace to Lisa in LA. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, cool. All right, what I wanted to do today was run through 5 ways I built my capital base. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to offer 3 tips on ways you can build your capital base. Before we get into that, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes for everyone to join in. Then we'll jump in. All right, who else do we got here? Who am I missing? We got Howard. Big up, Howard. Howard from Austin, Texas. I met Howard a couple weeks ago. Peace to Howard in Austin, Texas. All right, so we got all over the place. We got Philly. We got New York. We got Chicago, South Carolina. We got South Carolina. We got Illinois. We got Cali. We got New York. Wondering where Florida is. I'm wondering where Georgia is. I'm wondering where Ohio is. I'm wondering where North Carolina is. We got Michigan. We got Tennessee. Peace to Miguel. Peace to Miguel in Tennessee. We got Latrice. Peace, Latrice. Detroit, Michigan. Peace to Latrice. We're gonna give it 2 more minutes. Who else we got? Atlanta, ATL. We got Sharon. Peace to Sharon in Atlanta. I met Sharon in Atlanta recently. Peace to Sharon. North Carolina. Okay, North Carolina is definitely here. I know North Carolina is going to be on the call. North Carolina, I expect on the call. Ohio, I expect on the call. New York, Florida, Georgia. Where else? Michigan. All right, cool. Welcome everyone. Welcome to everyone across all 4 platforms. All four platforms. So the idea for today's training came about while I was in Atlanta 2 weeks ago. I met several of you at the ABNC about 2.5 weeks ago. Several people asked me how I built my capital base over the course of 4 days. I think 4 or 5 people asked me the same question over the course of 4 or 5 days. So that's how the idea for today's training came about. So as soon as the second person asked me that question, I got on my phone right here and I started typing ways I built my capital base over the years. So what I'm going to do today is run through those 5 ways, offer 3 ways you can build your capital base, and then we can take some questions. So that's the agenda for today. I'm going to run through ways I built my capital base. I'm going to provide some tips for you to build your capital base, and then we can take some Q&A at the end. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so I wanted to keep things concise today, maybe an hour. We'll see how it goes, 60 minutes or 90 minutes at most. I'm gonna try to run through my end pretty quickly. Maybe we'll leave some more time for Q&A. So that's the plan for today. All right, 8 minutes past the hour, so I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes, then we'll get into it. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes, then we'll get into it. All right. So we welcome everyone, and we welcome everyone joining on the Financial Juneteenth YouTube channel. We welcome everyone joining on my personal LinkedIn channel. We welcome everyone that registered through StreamYard, and we welcome everyone on Dr. Boyce Watkins's X channel. All right. For anyone that just now joined, just let us know where you're checking in from. Let us know what city you're checking in from. All right. So let's see here. All right, cool. All right, I got a few slides, not too many, about 6 or 7. I'm not going to take too long. I'm gonna jump into them shortly. I've got some slides. They're pretty concise, though. You know me, I get straight to the point. I don't like to add too much fluff. I don't like to BS around. I get straight to the point. In business school, they always used to tell us to get straight to the point. So I'm going to ask you a question, answer, or say you don't know, then go sit down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to keep things concise today. I'm going to give it 30 more seconds, then I'll jump into my slides. So anyone just now joining, I just said this a minute ago. Today's training came about while I was in Atlanta about 2.5 weeks ago. Several people asked me the same question. So I started, the idea for today's training came about while I was in Atlanta. 4 or 5 people talked to me personally and asked me that exact question, how I built my capital base. So I'm going to run through the 5 ways I've built my capital base the last 20 years. All right, let's see here. Let me pull up my slides and let's get into it. Okay, so we welcome Tracy from St. Louis. Tracy from St. Louis. Peace to Tracy from St. Louis. Welcome. Welcome, Tracy from St. Louis. All right, let's get right into it. 10 after the hour. Let's get right into it. Today's training, how I built my capital base. I find this topic kind of important. People asked me this several times recently and throughout the years as well. So I wanted to provide some insight on ways I built my capital base the last 20 years. Today's training is in partnership with the Black Business School. My name is Errol, and I'm just a free colored man. Today's training will be the first of two free trainings. I wanted to first start off by telling how I built my capital base. And then either in October or early November, I'm going to have a second free training. I'm going to wait on word from the Black Business School on exactly how we're going to set that second training up. So today will be the first training, how I built my capital base. And then either in October or November, I'll have a second training on the basics of option selling. Okay, so option selling 101 will likely be the second free training either in October or November. Like I said, I'm going to quickly run through 5 ways I built my capital base, offer 3 tips for you to build your capital base, and then we'll take some questions. All right, so let's get right into it. Before I get into the 5 ways I built my capital base, let's just provide some background context on what a capital base is and some background information on the capital base itself. Okay, simply put, capital base is the total value of shares and cash in your account. If you've got one account, it's the total value of shares and cash you have in that account. If you have multiple accounts, it's the total value of shares and cash you have across all your accounts. Okay, very simple. Total value of shares and cash combined. Okay, second point. You've heard Dr. Boyce Watkins say the capital base is more important than a college degree. I'll take it one step further. I'll say the capital base is more important than multiple college degrees. Okay, the capital base, in my opinion, is more valuable, more important than multiple college degrees. Okay, this is the new economy. We got to adapt to the new economy. Okay, college degrees probably don't work in today's economy. We don't chase college degrees. We will chase the capital base. Okay, so the capital base is more important than multiple college degrees in today's economy and tomorrow's economy. Third point. The capital base must be managed correctly. The capital base must be managed correctly. What do I mean by that? The capital base itself is not, okay? You don't live off the capital base itself. You live off revenue generated from the capital base, okay? You don't live off the capital base itself. You live off revenue generated from the capital base, okay? Same idea in real estate. For all you real estate investors, you don't live off the rental properties themselves. You live off revenue generated from the rental properties. Okay. Similar idea in the options market. You don't live off the capital base. You live off revenue generated from the capital base. Okay. So third point, the capital base must be managed correctly. Fourth point, the capital base performs labor on our behalf. Okay, what do I mean by the capital base performs labor on our behalf? I stop performing labor, but I send my capital base to perform labor every period. Okay, I don't like laboring, I like living. Okay, the capital base does my heavy lifting. Okay, I send the capital base to work on my behalf. The capital base is the one who performs the labor. Okay, we don't like labor, we like living. Okay, so we send the capital base to work on our behalf. Okay. If you're like me, you prefer living over laboring, you will send your capital base to work every period, okay? The capital base performs the labor, all right? So that's some background on the capital base, what it is, and some background context on the capital base itself. Okay. Generally speaking, very simple terms, the capital base is the total value of shares and cash you have in your account. All right, let's move on. Let's get right into the 5 ways. Okay, here are the first 3 ways I've built my capital base the last 20 years. The first way I built my capital base was through my day job salary. As you may know, I worked many years in finance. I put up at least 10% of my day job salary plus whatever company match I had. Okay, so I put up at least 10% of my day job salary and the company match 20 years straight. All right, that alone over the years was a sizable capital base. The day job can be a great wealth building tool if we know how to use it. Okay, we're not just going to count down the time to 5 p.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. West Coast time. We're not just going to count down the hours. What we're going to do on the day job is to learn specialized skill and to network. Okay, we're going to learn specialized skill on the day job and network. By the time I left my day job, I had multiple multimillionaires consulting with me for options. They would ask me about options. I would ask them how they built their business, or I would ask them how they built their family bank. Okay? The first way I built my capital base was through my day job salary, the last 20 years. The second way I built my capital base was through side hustling. I was side hustling before I knew what side hustling was. All right, I'm a mathematician. I've tutored college kids and high school kids the last 20 years. I would take 80% of that revenue and put it into the market. I've lived in Florida since 2014. When I had my rental properties, avocado, mango, sapodilla would grow on the properties. I would pick them, I would keep some, and I would sell the rest. I took 80% of that revenue and put it into the market. When I go to the beach, I take my big machete with me. I climb up the coconut tree like you see in that picture. I chop down 20 coconuts, I keep 5, and I sell 15. I ship 15 to Georgia, New York, Maryland, Texas, wherever. I would take 80% of that revenue and put it into the market. The third side hustle I've used on and off, well, especially this year, you might have heard me talk about this before. Back in April, when the market pulled back, I was looking for ways to generate extra cash. I went into my closet, I picked out clothing I hadn't worn in 1 year, and I liquidated them. I went up to my attic. I looked around for items I hadn't used in 1 year. I liquidated them. Okay. I preferred buying great assets at great prices than having extra sweaters in the back of my closet serving no purpose. I preferred buying great assets at great prices instead of having a bookshelf in my attic serving no purpose. Okay. So the second way I built my capital base throughout the years is by side hustling. Okay. I was not waiting on HR to give me a 50-cent raise. I got off my ass and gave myself a $50,000 raise. Okay. The second way I built my capital base was through side hustling. The third way I built my capital base was by renting out half of my primary residence. Was it annoying at times? Yes. Was it a pain in the ass at times? Yes. Was it uncomfortable at times? Yes. But my long-term freedom was more important than my short-term comfort. What I ended up doing was taking all those rental payments, buying myself some land, sitting on that land for about 4 years, and then selling that land. What I did with that cash was I put 100% of that cash into the market. So what ended up happening was my tenant paid me paid me monthly payments. I took that cash, I bought some land, flipped that land, put that cash into the market, and now that cash pays me every period the rest of my life. Okay? So if my tenant sees this, if my tenant's watching this, if the tenant watches the replay, I love you forever. Thank you for contributing to my freedom. Okay? The third way I built my capital base the last 20 years was renting out half of my primary residence. Okay, moving on. The fourth way I built my capital base was selling real estate. I sold 2 of my rentals in 2022. I sold one of those rentals for a 450% return. I sold the other rental for a 250% return. And I sold that land for a 160% return. I took 100% of those proceeds and put it into the market. Okay. Me selling real estate is just a very simple lesson in buying low, waiting, then selling high. The fourth way I built my capital base was through selling real estate. The fifth way I built my capital base was through a home equity line of credit. What I did in 2022 was take a HELOC against the equity of my primary residence. The interest rate is just under 8%. I'm not tripping off of 8% if I can take those proceeds and earn at 20, 25, 30, 35 plus percent. Okay? I pay back the 8% and I live off the difference. So the fifth way I built my capital base was through a HELOC. Okay? All right, to quickly summarize my the top 5 ways I built my capital base the last 20 years. First, it was through the day job salary. Second, it was through side hustling. Third, it was renting out half my primary residence. Fourth, it was selling real estate. And fifth, it was through a home equity line of credit. Okay, so these are the 5 ways I built my capital base. Now you may be thinking, Errol, none of these ways apply to me, or only one of these ways apply to me. All these 5 ways, I can't implement these 5 ways. Okay, so what worked for you may not work for me. These are the 5 ways that work for me, but I'll offer you 3 ways that you can build your capital base. Okay, so here are 3 ways you can build your capital base. The first way is to decrease your housing expense. Housing is probably your largest expense. Decreasing your housing expense may be downsizing. It may be renting out an extra room. It may be Airbnb. It may be living with somebody temporarily. What you will do is invest the difference. Okay, put that difference into the market. Make that difference work for you. The second way you can decrease your build your capital base is by decreasing your transportation expense. All right, transportation is often our second largest expense. Decreasing your transportation expense may mean downsizing your car, trading in your car for a less expensive one, paying off your car, or sharing your car expense with somebody else. I purposely drove an old paid off car for 13 years. Okay. I didn't have a car note my entire adult life until last year. I took the difference. I would have paid the car dealership every month and I put that into the market. Okay. I purposely drove an old paid off car because my long-term freedom was more important than me looking fly. Okay. So these are some tips I'm offering you that I lived myself many years. Okay. Second way you can build your capital base is by decreasing your transportation expense. The third way you can build your capital base is by monetizing your skills and interests. Okay? Even if you work the day job, you develop skills on the day job, you can take those skills and freelance on the open market. Okay? You're good at something. You're good at fixing computers, you're good at fixing cars, you're good at doing hair, you're good at doing nails. Okay? You're not gonna wait on HR to bless you. Okay? That day's not coming. HR don't like you like that. What you will do is find your own customers and clients and monetize your skills on your own. Okay? Third way you can build your capital base is by monetizing your skills and interests on your own. Find your own customers, find your own clients. Stop waiting on other people to bless us, including HR. They don't like us like that. Okay, so here are 3 ways you can build your capital base if the 5 ways I presented don't work for you. Decrease your housing, decrease your transportation, and monetize your skills and interests. All right, before we get to the Q&A, if you want to contact me, you can email me directly. You can check me out on my website. You can connect with me on social media. I do have several offerings through the Black Business School, the most popular being bulk consultations. Several of you already consult with me regarding options. There is a fee, but I'll definitely provide more value in return for that fee. Okay, so if you need to contact me, email me directly, connect with me on social media, or you can check me out. Actually, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share one screen. Let me stop sharing that screen and let me show you this screen right here. If you're already a part of the Black Business School, here are a couple of the offering pages I have through the Black Business School. The one on the left is the bulk consultation. That's probably the most popular offering I have through the Black Business School. Some of you already consult with me through for options. Here's some bulk consultation packages. Okay, if you're interested in that. If you're interested in a one-off consultation, check this other page. This one right here. I am working on a couple of trainings through the Black Business School. I'm going to have more detail in the near future regarding those. This first offering is my monthly options class. Here's the one-off consultation and a mathematics for millionaires class I had earlier this year. Okay, so there's a couple ways to contact me if you're interested in consultations or any of my offerings through the Black Business School. All right, so I ran through how I built my capital base. I ran through some ways you can build your capital base. I wanted to take any questions or comments you guys have. I'll answer some questions. I wanted to leave some more time for the Q&A. I know there's often a lot of questions, so I wanted to purposely leave a lot of time for the Q&A. Let's see here. Yep, it was good to meet people in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. I have to shout out, I don't want to name names, but like I said, today's training, how I built my capital base and how you can build your capital base came about in Atlanta. So the idea was birthed right there in Atlanta at the ABNC. So I thank some of you for asking me that question so many times. Tracy, okay, yeah. What are you talking about there exactly, Tracy? Natasha wants money babies. You want money babies? Okay, here's a way to burst some money babies. Build your capital base using my 5 ways, using your three ways I suggested, using some other ways. Take your capital base, go deploy your capital base, make sure your capital base multiplies and circles back to you. Okay, we all want money babies, but we need a capital base to do so. Andrea summarized my 5 ways. Capital base, day job salary. Those of you who work the day job, don't just count down the hours until you leave. Okay, make the most of it. Develop specialized skill on the day job. Take those specialized skills that you learn from the day job or that you work on in the day job and go freelance those on the open market. Find your own customers, clients. Stop waiting on HR. Second, side hustling. I've used several side hustles. I don't wait on HR to bless me. I get off my ass and bless myself. Side hustling, my top side hustles, math tutoring. I'm a mathematician. I tutored kids in math the last 20 years. I climb up coconut trees, I chop them down, ship them all over the country. I go liquidate items I don't use around my house. I'd rather go buy Bitcoin and Microsoft than me having a bunch of items in my house that don't do anything for me. Third way, I rented out half of my primary residence on and off, took all that cash and made some money babies with them. What else do we got? I sold a bunch of my rentals back in the day. Once I mastered the options, I realized options and real estate investing, there's no match. There's no match when it comes to cash flow. And if you do own a primary residence, or even if you own any rentals, the HELOC can be a great wealth building tool if you know to use it. Someone that tells me that they have a HELOC, first question I ask them, what's your interest rate? You better know your interest rate, okay? As a business owner, as an aspiring business owner, you better know your numbers. Okay? You know Mr. Charlie's numbers, right? You know the day job's numbers. Why don't you know your own business's numbers, right? Those are the 5 ways I built my capital base. I know my numbers inside out, okay? I can't know Mr. Charlie's job. I can't know Mr. Charlie's numbers better than my own numbers. I can't know Mr. Charlie's business better than I know my own business. That's ass backwards. Let's see, Andrea, my 9 to 5 currently my largest benefactor. Good for you. For my 5 to 9, there you go. Andrea's not waiting around, waiting to be blessed by Santa Claus and HR. Okay, they don't care about us. It's all good. We care about us. Once I get better selling options. Okay, yeah, Andrea, just continue to put up a percentage of your day job salary into your capital base. Okay, I didn't do anything that's genius. That's maybe I just did that for a long period. I didn't do anything that you can't do. Take a percentage of your day job salary and add it to your capital base. Let's see what else we got here. Go. Tracy says, I'm a voiceover artist. Good for you. Just got booked to do a host MC concert. Okay, good for Tracy. Salute to Tracy. Tracy, what you could do what you're going to do with that revenue is take at least 80% of that and put it into the market. Take 80% of that revenue from that gig and build your capital base with it. Okay. And then eventually that capital base will make money babies and come back to you. So here's 3 tips. If the 5 tips I provided don't work for you, everyone has housing expense. Housing is often our largest expense. Decrease that housing expense. Invest the difference into your capital, into the market, or into your capital base. Right. Second, our largest expense is often transportation. Right. The car note. Maybe you downsize the car. Maybe you pay it off. Maybe you traded it for an older used one. And invest the difference every month into the market. Build out your capital base by decreasing your transportation expense. And all of us have some skill. All of us have some interests. Maybe you're a foodie. When you go to such and such restaurant, do a little YouTube video, post that on social, do that long enough. And then people will pay you to be a foodie. People will pay you to come to their restaurant. Okay, so that you can build out your capital base like that. If you're into travel, you travel around. You're in Atlanta, you're in New York, you're in Miami, you're in Vegas, you're in LA, you're in Chicago, you're in Houston. When you go to these different places, same thing. Post on your social media, set up a little YouTube channel, post regularly. If you're hot enough, if you're big enough, over time, people will pay you to come to the hotel. People will pay you to come to their city. If you build up a strong enough following, people will pay you. That's another way to monetize your skills and build your capital base. Okay, we're not waiting around HR. Okay, we're not waiting around HR. HR should come work for us. We whoop their ass in business. Congrats, Tracy. Andrea says the Mathematics for Millionaires session you held was fabulous. Mathematics for Millionaires was a class I had through the Black Business School earlier this year. Actually had a curriculum. I had for the people that were in that class, I had I set it up just like traditional education. Same semester format, same syllabus format, office hours format, every lesson predetermined, just like traditional education, right? Traditional education may get us a job. Freedom education may get us free. Okay, so study accordingly. Okay, traditional education may get you a job. Freedom education may get you free, so study accordingly. Okay, I only focus on traditional. I only focus on freedom education. Okay, I'm not with the traditional education anymore. I'm not trying to get a job. Jobs don't like me. I don't like jobs. Okay, that's equality. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, freedom. Freedom's so valuable, right? We don't. I think a lot of us were trained to go get a job, right? I was trained to go get a job. I wasn't trained to go get ownership. Okay, so I had to deprogram, then reprogram. Okay, I had to deprogram the brainwashing, and I had to reprogram with the freedom education. All right, a lot of us are trained to go get a job. We're not trained for ownership. We're not trained for freedom. We're trained to go work for Mr. Charlie 40 years at a time and then hope to break even one day. That's ass backwards. That's ass backwards. Yeah, freedom education over traditional education. Traditional education is just about played out at this point. What else we got? What's a good capital base to start with, Latrice? If you're talking about options, you can start selling options for as little as a couple of thousand. All right, you're not going to generate too much cash flow with 2,000, but you can get into the game and start developing your experience with 2,000, 2,500. Of course, the larger the capital base, the more cash flow you can generate. But if you're a beginner, if you're just starting off, you can start with a couple of thousand. All right, a couple of thousand to start with. Actually, that's a good point right there. What I'm going to do next training is have a training for beginners. Okay, a beginner-friendly options training. Probably, I don't have the details for that training just yet, either in October or November. But what I'm going to purposely do is make it as simple as possible for all the beginners. So just be on the lookout for that training details. I'm going to drop the details for that in October sometime. Okay, that's going to be a beginner-friendly options class. Let's see what else we got. Nonfiction. Do you feel comfortable carrying debt long-term with a HELOC? Yes, I want more debt. I want more debt at 7%, 8%, 6%. That's free money. Or would you rather pay it off as soon as possible? No. Again, it comes down to the numbers. Like, it comes down to the numbers, right? Just say I got a HELOC or any line of credit for, say, 8%, 9%, 10%. Okay. If I can take that capital base, just say it was 100,000. If I can take that 100 and I can generate 20% or 25%, I don't care about 8%. All right, I'll pay back the 8% and live off the difference, right? So it all comes down to the numbers. It all comes down to the business model you deploy. Okay. Do you feel comfortable carrying long-term debt? Yes, I want more long-term debt. I want more long-term debt because I know exactly what to do with it. If I didn't know what to do with it, no, I don't want long-term debt. I'm not going to take that debt and go post up in Miami. No. I'm not going to take that debt and go post up in Dubai. No. I'm going to take that debt. I know what the interest rate is, and I'm going to go send it to work. I'm going to chill at the house, and I'm going to send my capital base to work. Make sure ensuring it earns more than the interest. Pay back the interest. Live off the difference. That's exactly what I do. There's no feelings in this. It all comes down to numbers. Peace, Jen. Callie. Peace to Callie. Callie in the building. Let's see what else we got. My mortgage is fixed at 3.1. Good for you. Bought at 75K, now worth 148K. Good. I want to get a HELOC and use that to build my capital base. Good for you, Tracy. Good for you, Tracy. Here's some quick math on those numbers Tracy provided. I am not working 9 to 5. It is insane to think I could get a HELOC without a job. I think there's some lenders that'll give you a home equity line of credit. You could probably find some lenders that'll give you a home equity line of credit. Remember, the lender is in this for the interest payments, right? If you could prove maybe through bank statements or a P&Ls through your business, you might be able to find lenders that'll give you a HELOC with no day job. Okay, so let's quickly run through the numbers on Tracy's comment here. Okay, first salute to 3.1 fixed mortgage. Salute right there. Just salute off of that alone. Fixed bought at 75. Okay, so what's 148 minus 75? That's how much equity Tracy has. Okay, let's do that right quick. What's 148 minus 75? 148 minus 75 is 73,000 worth of equity. Okay. These credit unions will give you 70 or 80% of that, 73,000. So just say they give you 70% of the 73,000. That's 51,000. Okay, so you can find lenders that'll give you about 51,000 worth of equity, worth of that HELOC. Go deploy that. What you would do is just say it was at 7%. You take that 51% and go deploy it, ensuring you earn at more than 7%, pay back the 7% interest, and live your best life with the difference. Okay. I do the exact thing. Okay. There's no feelings in this. There's no emotion in this. There's no opinion in this. It all comes down to the numbers. As a business owner, I know my numbers. As a business owner, you got to know your numbers. Okay. Salute you, Tracy. Good for you. Go reach out to some lenders. Go reach out to some credit unions and tell them, look, I got 70,000 worth of equity. What can you do? Okay. The worst thing they can do is say no. Okay. Until you find a yes. First lender say no, go to the second lender. If they say no, go keep knocking on lenders' doors until you find one that'll say yes. Okay. Don't get discouraged if the first one says no. Okay. Go find a lender that'll give you a HELOC and go deploy that HELOC at a higher rate than the interest. Okay. It all comes down to the numbers. Let's see here. Have you considered a SBLOC product, securities backed line of credit, basically borrowing more money against the stock you may own? Securities backed line of credit, it all comes down to the interest rate. What's the interest rate? Is the interest rate higher than my current line of credits? If that's the case, no, I'm not interested. If the interest rate is lower than my current line of credits, yeah, I will be interested. Okay. There's no feelings. Again, there's no feelings in this. It all comes down to the interest rate. I know exactly what my interest rates are on my lines of credit. I'm not going to pay that line of credit back just to go get a higher interest rate. Okay. If I do that, it's got to be for a much larger capital base. Okay. I'm not going to make a lateral move. Okay. No lateral moves, no backward moves. Okay. I'm not good with the English. I do know the difference between regression and progression. Okay. I'm not that good with English, but I do know the difference between regression and progression. No backwards moves, only forward moves. Have you considered SBLOC product? Yes. Depends on the interest rate. It comes down to the numbers. No feelings. Okay. Comes down to the interest rate. It really depends on the interest rate. Let's see what else we got. Much appreciated. Okay, thanks, Pam. All right, good for you, Pam. I hope not only Pam but everyone on the call. I hope these are value adds. I hope these are worthwhile. You guys could be doing anything. You guys log on to these lives and get some value out of it. So I thank you. Much appreciated to you for joining, Pam. What else we got? Any other comments or questions? While I wait for any other comments or questions on the capital base, just to review, for anyone joining late, there's 5 main ways I built my capital base the last 20 years. Okay, the last 20 years. The first way, I put up at least 10% of my day job salary the last 20 years, plus the company match, whatever company I work for at the time. I put up at least 10% of the salary plus their match. Okay, 20 years straight. Okay, so that alone propelled me forward. Okay, propelled my capital base to a sizable capital base. That was the first way. Second way, I side hustled. Okay, I was not waiting around for Santa Claus to come down my chimney and bless me. I wasn't waiting on HR to call me. I got off my ass and made shit happen my damn self. That was the second way. Third way was renting out half my primary residence. Okay, yeah, it was uncomfortable. Yeah, it was annoying. But again, my long-term freedom was more important than my short-term comfort. Okay, my long-term freedom was way more important than me being comfortable for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. I didn't care about that. I cared about being free. Okay, I cared about being free. Okay, that was the third way. Fourth way was I sold real estate. Okay, I sold 2 rentals and I sold some land. Okay, I took all those proceeds and I built my capital base with those proceeds. That was the fourth way. Fourth way I built my capital base was through selling real estate. And the fifth way was taking a home equity line of credit against the equity of my primary residence. Okay, those are the 5 ways for anyone now joining. Okay, now those ways may not work for you. Those ways work for me. What you can do is find ways that work for you and implement them. Okay, implement them repeatedly. Okay, don't implement them once. Implement them repeatedly over time. That's what will help you build your capital base. Okay. I did all 5 of those things repeatedly, not just one time and then fall back and chill. Nah, I did those things repeatedly, and repeatedly they were uncomfortable. Okay, but again, my freedom was more important than my short-term comfort. 3 ways we talked about you can build your capital base, decrease your housing expense, okay, decrease your transportation expense, and monetize your skills. Okay, take action, take the initiative. Santa Claus don't like you like that. HR don't like you like that. Mr. Charlie don't like you like that. You building your capital base is up to you. All right. What else we got? Jen says, actually, I think I'm missing some questions here. Faith says, what percentage of your net worth would you put into the market? That's a good question. Without me getting into too much, I don't want to say too much publicly, but I never thought about this question. But let me make some rough calculations in my head. At least a third. Okay, at least a third. That's just me. I know how to deploy that capital base. I know how to manage that capital base. I'm comfortable, managing that capital base. So it could be more as the years go by. It could be 40%, 50%, 60%. As long as I have some emergency funds on the side, as long as I have some cash on the side, as long as I can pay my bills. Without my business revenue, I want to deploy as much of it as I can. Okay, I busted my ass to build my net worth. My net worth must bust its ass for me. Okay, I bust my ass for America. America must bust its ass for me too. Okay, that's equality. Okay, right now, if I was to guess, what percentage? About a third, 33%. What else we got? Jen says, being self-employed, how do you receive medical benefits? That is why I stay on the plantation. Okay, great question. This is a great question right here. Being self-employed, how do you receive medical benefits? I pay myself medical benefits through my business. Okay, so what you can do is reach out to me if you want more detail on that, which carrier I use. You can just reach out to me. That we can have a private conversation on what carrier I use. But you can find carriers that will allow you to receive medical benefits through your business. Okay, when I worked my day job, I had medical benefits through my day job. But nowadays, I pay my medical benefits through my business. Basically, I pay my own benefits. It's my business that pays my medical benefits. There are certain carriers that will pay your own medical benefits if you're self-employed. That's a great question. Let's see what else we got. Diane says, I met you at the 2022 ABNC. Okay, Diane Lusk. I plan to follow you with these courses. Okay, yeah. I do have some free webinars just like today's training. Every Wednesday, I've got a YouTube Live. That Wednesday YouTube Live is not options related. It's more general stock market related. But I do plan on having free webinars just like this from time to time. So respect to you, Diane. Let's see, researching medical benefits. Yep. And they are out there much more expensive than Master Charlie. There you go. I am presently researching medical benefits. Yep, and they are out there much more expensive than Master Charlie. Yeah. So remember, on the day job, I don't know if you may know this, but on the day job, when we have medical benefits, the employer pays a piece of it, and the employee pays a piece of it, right? So, you just gotta make sure that it's comparable coverage for a comparable price. Okay. My general approach to healthcare is to try to stay as healthy as possible and stay out of big pharma's reach. But if you're self-employed, there are carriers that will extend medical and dental to you. Let's see what else we got. Decide dedication and discipline. If you want to be a subject matter expert, if you want to be an expert in any field, options, real estate, business, law, engineering, computer science, it's the same formula. Practice every day, study every day, sacrifice every day, Stay disciplined every day. Okay, same formula, different fields. Same formula, different context. Okay, what else we got? Obama's okay. So Andrea, Obamacare. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think I had a training a few months back. Generalist versus specialist. The specialist gets paid way more than generalist, generally speaking. Okay. I used to be a generalist, right? I was trying to do 7 things all at the same time. I was trying to work the day job. I was trying to run real estate plays. I was trying to grow my business. I was trying to sell options. I was trying to side hustle. I was trying to do this. I tried to do that. I tried to do that. I ended up being mediocre at best at all 7 ventures. Okay. No surprise. I only have 24 hours a day. I can't be excellent at 7 things. So one of the things that helped me was to scale back so I could scale up. You understand? I cut down on 7 business ventures. I'd be a specialist in 1. As soon as I did that, as soon as I scaled back from 7 ventures to mastering 1 venture, my income rose. The time I had available rose. Okay. We can't be experts at 7 things or 5 things. Okay. The specialist gets paid way more than the generalist, generally speaking. Okay. Those of you that are trying to do 7 things, 10 things, okay, take an audit of all your business ventures. Ask yourself, which business venture gives me the best return for my time and effort? Go hard in that one. Scale back all the other ones. Okay. I did the exact. Everything I speak on. I lived for 20 years, or I'm currently living now. Okay. I'm really about that life. Okay. I don't just talk it. I actually live it. I'm really about that life. Okay. So if you find you're burnt out, if you find 24 hours a day is not enough for you, that's a clear sign you're doing too much. Okay. Scale back to scale up. Simplify to multiply. Okay. I did the exact thing. Once I did that, my income rose, and I fired the corporate plantation. What else we got? Jen says college admissions look for students specializing. In our day, it was about more doing many things. Yep. Now it's is about doing one thing and becoming an expert. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Who gets paid more, the expert or the person doing 12 things? Okay. It's a clear sign. If you do 12 things, that's a clear sign that none of those 12 things actually work. Right. I cut hair. I drive Uber. I work the day job. I do massage. I do nails. I do hair. I do DoorDash. I do options. I do affiliate marketing. I do this. I do. That's a clear. If anyone tells you they do 17 things, that's a clear sign that not any one of those 17 things work. Am I lying? I used to be the exact way. Okay. I scaled back to scale up. I simplified to multiply. You can't do everything. You can't be an expert in 17 things. Okay. Take an audit of all your business ventures. Say you're into 4 things. Okay. Say you're into 4 things. Take an audit of all 4 things. Ask yourself, what business venture provides me the best return for my time and effort and my capital? Go hard in that one. Scale back everything else or cut out everything else. Okay. I did the exact thing. Yeah, you can't be an expert in many things. Okay. LeBron James can't be an expert in basketball, football, track. He's an expert in one thing. Okay. Dr. Royce Watkins is an expert in the stock market. Okay. Doc can't be an expert in stock market. He can't, no one can be an expert in 17 things simultaneously. Okay. Scale back to scale up. Simplify to multiply. Okay. I lived it myself. Simplify to multiply. Okay. Simplify to multiply. And that's from my experience. That's from my personal experience. As soon as I simplified to multiply, my income skyrocketed. I really did lock myself in the house. I really did lock myself in the home office. I really didn't come out the home office until I was arguably the top of my field. Okay. I was really about that life. Okay. I really did sacrifice the last 20 years of my life. Okay. I don't say that lightly. I really did. I'm really about that life. Yeah, there you go. Jack of all trades don't get paid. Generalists don't get paid like the specialists get paid. Okay. If you're a specialist or if you're a real estate specialist, you get paid way better than the person doing real estate, doing hair, doing massage, doing Uber, doing day job, doing this, doing that. No, man. If someone tells you they're doing 9 things simultaneously, that's a clear sign. None of those 9 things actually work. What else we got? So I hope today's meeting was a value add. The idea came about in Atlanta, like I said. 5 ways I built my capital base. You can find ways that'll help you build your capital base. And again, I stopped performing labor. I stopped working. I send my capital base to work. Okay, I'm not leaving the house unless I go to the beach or go to the fight. I don't labor. I send my capital base to perform the labor. I don't work. I stop working. I send my capital base to work on my behalf. Okay. Yeah, I bust my ass for America. America must bust its ass for me. Okay. Supposed to be America's about equality. Okay, America, go bust your ass for me the next 15 years, like I busted my ass for you the last 15 years. What else we got? How long did you have to live below your means? If you did, I did. At least 15 years. I purposely didn't want to look fly. I purposely drove an old car. I purposely lived in the hood when I lived in the hood. I purposely didn't buy a new car when my income increased. Okay, I try to live below my means. A lot of years, 15 years, something like that. 15 years. Okay. And I didn't really scale up my car just because my old car. I would still be driving the old car. Okay. I would have still been driving the old car if it still worked. Okay. Cars don't make me. I make the cars. If you're a real G, the car don't make you. You make the car if you're a real G. Okay. I would have still pushing that old car if it worked. Cars don't make me. I make the car. The only reason I got a new car because the old car didn't work. 15 years minimum. Answered that question. Let's see what else we got. Hoopties and no bling. Okay, hoopties and no bling. Yeah, but after a while, you don't have to sacrifice for long. Forever. I sacrificed until I felt like I was comfortable to scale up my lifestyle. Okay, but that was after many years of sacrifice. Okay, many years, and I don't say that lightly. I sacrificed a lot, including time away from my people. I sacrificed years of my personal life. A lot of us sacrifice our health, right? A lot of us sacrifice our physical health. A lot of us sacrifice our mental health. Okay. If you're sacrificing your mental health, if you're sacrificing your physical health, if you're sacrificing time away from your people, time away from your kid, okay, do that temporarily until your capital base is big enough. Then you send the capital base to work. Okay. You work for the capital base, then you send the capital base to work, then you live. Okay. No more labor. We like living. Okay. Living over laboring. Someone write that in the chat. Living over laboring. I stopped laboring. No more laboring. Only living. What else we got? What ways do you fund your safety net while building your capital base percentage-wise? What ways do you fund your safety net while building your capital base? What ways do you fund your safety net? I don't currently fund my safety net. I've built up my safety net already. What ways do you fund your safety net? If you don't have a safety net, take a piece of your day job salary, take a piece of your side hustle revenue, take a piece of your option salary, take a piece of your real estate salary, your real estate revenue, take a piece of all your revenue streams and put it towards your safety net. Okay, do that as long as you need to build up your safety net. Once you're good, then you put the rest into your capital base. Percentage-wise, I'm not sure. What ways do you fund your safety net while building your capital base? Maybe you just build some emergency fund. Maybe you build everything simultaneously. Put a little towards your emergency fund. Put a little towards your capital base. Take a little of your day job. Take a little of all your revenue streams and build out all your pots at the same time. Percentage-wise, I don't know. Yeah, living over laboring. We were trained to go labor. We were not trained to go live, right? We were trained to go labor for Mr. Charlie so he can live. That's ass backwards, okay? We will labor until we have the capital base. Then we will deploy the capital base to work on our behalf, okay? Living over laboring. I no longer labor. My peoples didn't birth me to labor. My peoples birthed me to live. What else we got? Your peoples didn't birth you to be a laborer. Your peoples birthed you to be a king. Your peoples didn't birth you to be a laborer. Your peoples birthed you to be a queen. True or not? True or not? Your people's birth you to be a king or queen, not be a laborer. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. My people's birthed me to dominate that market. My people's birthed me to make history. My people's didn't birth me to go work for Mr. Charlie 40 years at a time, hoping to break even one day. Nah. My people's birthed me to be a king. What else we got? Yeah, Doug, my man Douglas right here, living over laboring for real. My man Douglas is going to build his capital base. He's laboring for his capital base. Once he has a sizable capital base, he's going to send his capital base to go perform labor. Douglas is going to be posted up in Manhattan skyscraper. Douglas is going to be posted up in Miami Beach. Douglas is going to be posted up this weekend at the fight in Vegas. Douglas is going to be posted up in LA chilling. Okay, labor, then you go live. Okay, build up labor to build up your capital base. Then you send your capital base to labor. Then you go live. Okay. What else we got? Believe in your greatness. Believe in your greatness. Nobody's going to believe in your greatness. HR definitely ain't going to believe in your greatness. Mr. Charlie ain't going to believe in your greatness. You got to believe in your greatness. What else we got? I'm all in. Yeah, all in your greatness. Your people's birth you to be queen. Your people's birth you to make history. Your ancestors sent you to dominate. My ancestors sent me to dominate. My ancestors sent me to dominate the market. Okay, and there will be no apologies for that. All right, gone just about an hour. Any final comments or questions? I hope today's meeting was a value add. Again, if it was a value add, drop a like on the comment, drop a share on the video. I'm going to confirm with the Black Business School. I want to have a free options training, maybe October or November. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to try to make that training as simple as possible. Okay. I'm going to try to share my top option strategies. I'm going to try to make things as simple as possible. So I'm going to drop details for that training in October. Thanks for joining. Look, this works both ways. It works both ways. I thank you for joining. We got 200 and some people on the live tonight. It works both ways. The thanks work both ways, right? There's no meetings, there's no lives without you guys logging on. So I thank you all for joining. The replay for today's meeting will be available on the Financial Juneteenth YouTube channel right after this meeting. Again, build up your capital base, then send your capital base to work. Okay, you bust your ass, you sacrifice like crazy, you jeopardize your health, you jeopardize your wealth, you jeopardize your mental, your peace of mind to build your capital base. Cool. Once your capital base is sizable enough, you send that capital base to work on your behalf. Okay, you labor. You build up your capital base, then you send the capital base to labor on your behalf. Okay, same thing I do. Okay, what I do is before we wrap, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this before we wrap. I checked the resume of Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA. Okay, I checked the resume of Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA. I like what I saw. I sent Jensen Huang to work on my behalf. I prefer living. I checked the resume of Andy Jassy, CEO of Amazon. I like what I saw. I sent Andy Jassy to work on my behalf. I prefer living. I checked the resume of Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir. Okay, I like what I saw. I sent his ass to work on my behalf. I prefer living. Okay, what else? I checked the resume of Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase. I like what I saw. I sent his ass to labor on my behalf. I prefer living. Okay. So I checked the resumes of America's top executives. I send their ass to work on my behalf. I'm going to the fight this weekend in Vegas. Okay. That's what I do. I don't labor. Excuse me. I don't labor. I prefer living. Okay. What else we got? Anything? El Haj. Replay available on the Financial Juneteenth web YouTube channel right after this meeting. But right after we wrap. I'm not good with English. My brain moves real fast. So if I stutter and I mispronounce words, it's I'm better at business than English. So forgive me. I mispronounce words and I skip words and all kinds. I screw up the English. I'm not good with English. I'm good with business. What else we got? Natasha. I think Natasha is referring to us recruiting America's top executives and sending their ass to work on our behalf. Okay, Natasha, I'm sure she prefers living over laboring. Okay, so go send America's top executives to work on your behalf and go live your best life. What else we got? Okay, I think Calistro VC, same idea. Right? I think they're saying we recruit America's top executives to go work on our behalf. Right? We spent years working for other people. Now we recruit other people to go work on our behalf. We go live. We don't labor. We live. I don't. I'm not good with English. I admit I'm not good with English. You are speaking the truth. Yeah. True. Yeah. If you know, you know. Exactly. I don't speak. I don't know what a pronoun is. I don't know what a noun is. I don't know what a verb is. I don't care. I do know my cash flow. I do know my return. I do know my cost of living. I do know my opportunity cost. And I do know my revenue, expenses, and my net cash flow. I don't know what a pronoun is. Okay. I don't care what a pronoun is. All right. Any final comments or questions? Drop them in the chat. Hope this is value add. I thank y'all for today because y'all were the ones who birthed this training. Y'all were the ones who inspired this training. I'm not good with English. English is not my first language. Business is my first language. All right. Thank you for joining. What is that? 9:06 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesdays, if I haven't mentioned this, on Wednesdays on the Financial Juneteenth YouTube channel and on the Black Boss channel, I go live every Wednesday. That's just a general stock market class. So some of you will see me tomorrow at noon Eastern on the Winning Wednesdays live. All right. So if this was a value add, drop a chat, drop a like, drop a share. Again, my name is Errol, and I'm just a free colored man who can think, speak, and pay himself. All right. I'm going to check y'all later. Peace.